In 2009, I started my own organization called War on the Horizon. The reason that War on the Horizon was created was because we are convinced that if African people worldwide do not prepare ourselves for survival in the 21st century, that we will go the way of the Native Americans. In 1492, when the Europeans came to the Western Hemisphere, there were 500 nations of red people in North America and South America. Today, to my knowledge, I've never seen a full-blooded Native American. We are convinced that if we as African people do not take heed of history and recognize that worldwide, whites, Arabs, some Asiatics, and others are trying to exterminate our people, and meet their hostility with an equal and opposite reaction, if we're not willing to do that and we're not successful in doing that, then we will be exterminated. We believe that. We will be exterminated. We believe that. And since we recognize that, we believe it is our responsibility to prepare our people for 21st century survival, which means spiritual survival, economic survival, political survival, socio-economic survival, and military survival. Whatever it takes to preserve the future of African people, we believe it is our responsibility as men, women, and children of African descent to put it in place and to be successful in creating a world conducive for African life and prosperity. I'm also the international spokesman for a brand new movement called the Straight Black Pride Movement. It's a movement coming to you very soon. The purpose of the Straight Black Pride Movement is to galvanize and organize African people around things that we agree on, as opposed to focusing on the things that we don't have in common. So we said there are three basic things that sane African people around this planet still have in common. One, we're straight. When they first came to get us from Africa, they wanted our human resource. We were the best agriculturalists in the world. We were the best nation builders. We had the math and the science. We built their nation for them. That's what they wanted the first time. Second time, they wanted the resources that were in the ground. This is the most dangerous period in the history of the world for black people, because they got machines. They don't need us to get the stuff out the ground. They want the land itself. They can move there. They had to cure the malaria, so they can live in that environment now. They don't need us to build anything for them because they've got the science and the math and the engineering in their books. So now the only thing is left is if we ever wake up and realize what they've done to us and decide that we're not going to allow this and rebuild ourselves, which means the end of their empire, the end of them. So that means that in order to prevent that, they need no more checks. They need a checkmate. So they've done everything imaginable under the sun, at least I hope they have. I don't know, come up with nothing new, but to try to destroy us as a race of people. This is the first time on the chessboard, anyone that plays chess will understand what I'm talking about, where they have a potential checkmate. See, it's different when the things that they've done to us over the years, we've rebounded, but there's a reason. Because as long as you have a black woman, as long as the black woman is there, no matter, that's our ancient ancestral story. You can always rebuild a civilization. That means a black man is supposed to be with a black woman, and a black woman is supposed to be with a black man. We understand that that is our history and that is our culture, and we're not going to subdue our way of life for anybody else. We're going to stand on that, we're going to promote that, and we're going to present that to the world as our definitive, final stance on sexuality. Black man with black woman. Our second platform is blackness. And blackness means you have a black mother and black father. We recognize that if our black mother didn't make the decision to be with our black father, and if our black father didn't make the decision to be with our black mother, that we would not be black people who are here today. And we owe our ancestors and our future generations the same thing that they gave us, which is black life. And the only way to produce black life is for a black man to have loyalty, love, and protection for a black woman, and a black woman to have loyalty, love, and respect for a black man, and for them to come together to build a family and produce African children, black people. And lastly, pride. We are very foundationally convinced that there's no way that we as African people can move forward if we are not proud of the great accomplishments our ancestors made by laying down civilization. Allow that to propel us forward in a direction that's in our own best interest. Myth number one, and it is a myth. God made all races
That's all I hear.
I mean, everybody. God made everybody. Blah, blah, blah. Wait a minute. Fact number 1. The study of mitochondrial DNA proves beyond a reasonable shadow of a doubt that all human life comes from the black woman.
Wow. That's right. That's right.
Well, why is that relevant to us? Since all human beings can be traced back to the black woman, the black race is the mother and father of humanity. Consequently, all other races derive from the black race. What's the conclusion? Black people are the only people on planet Earth whose origin cannot be traced. You cannot, when you go and say, where does the Asian come from? You trace his DNA back far. Some mutation effect occurred sometime in history where Africans became something else. You might call them Asian. Right. Everybody traces back to the black race. Nobody. Science has no explanation for the origin of black people. Only thing they can say is, I don't know. They were always here from God. Which, by definition, makes black people the only people on planet Earth who can claim to be God's chosen people.
We created math. We created science. We built the greatest civilizations in the history of the world. And there's no reason why, if our ancestors were able to do that then, with no roadmap, then we can't take the roadmap that they have laid down for us. Look all of the enemies to African people in the eyes. And look all the circumstances surrounding our upliftment as a race. Look at these realities and put together an actionable plan to overcome every obstacle in our way to dominion over this planet. So we believe we have to be a proud people. We're proud of what we did in the past, proud of what we're doing today. We need to walk proud, we need to eat proud, we need to look proud, and we need to be anywhere we are. When people see us, they should know that we are African, we are black, and we are happy with who we are. In fact, we believe that what we are is better than anything else out there that exists. We should not be afraid to believe that what we are is better than everything else. It's not about equality, in my opinion. We have the opinion that we are the best. And everybody has the right to think they're the best, but we are convinced that there's nothing better than being an African.